GreenBox is a fintech company that helps people leverage their business financials through blockchain technology. So with me to explain more about exactly how this works is Ben Aris, the chairman of the company. So Ben, great to see you and hear more about GreenBox. Do you want to just start with kind of telling me what makes you stand out versus a lot of the other competitors these days?
Yeah, so GreenBox is the only payment infrastructure company that utilizes 100% blockchain ledger technology for payments. We continuously work on technology upgrades and release new generations of our technology on a regular basis. Lastly, our approach is holistic. We develop the operating system and the applications on top of that. And we own all of the intellectual properties for the technology that is deployed in our ecosystem.
Okay. And then the blockchain technology is what's underlying it, right? And I know, a lot of people can't quite understand blockchain. I mean, do we need to use fintech, or is this, it's kind of, is that like we don't need to understand code to use the internet, or do we need to? What do you think?
I get this question quite a bit. So over the different interviews, I've developed this analogy that may explain to people why use blockchain ledger for payments to begin with. So let's say you and I have a meeting, and as you come to the meeting, you drive your newly restored Porsche 356 to the valet parking, and I see this car as a Porsche enthusiast myself, and I would like to buy it. So I offer you $85,000, and you accept. So far, traditional legacy payment processing. Here's where it deviates from that. So you give the key to the car to the valet. The valet checks your provenance, meaning the title, the insurance, and your authorization to sell the car. I give the valet a key to a safety deposit box that has $85,000, and the valet checks my provenance, that the money is there, that I have authorization to transact on it, etc. And here's the kicker. The valet gives me your key and gives you my key. We are both satisfied. Then the valet records this agreement in his little black book, and the transaction is satisfied. But notice that the money didn't move and the car didn't move, and yet the transaction is satisfied. This is the kicker of blockchain.
I am a blockchain believer. I know people think I'm crazy sometimes, but I think the technology is really useful for a lot of applications in the future, and fintech and voting and food sourcing. All kinds of stuff. So, I just think, we haven't totally gotten there yet, I guess, to adapt it all. So now I saw you had a capital raise, a private placement. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yes. So capital raises is a strategic activity for a company, both in the size of it and in the timing of it. So we design our capital raises along those objectives, starting with the recently completed bridge financing in the form of a private placement. And we are further designing additional steps to meet the company's longer term objectives, from strengthening our infrastructure to accelerating the release of our next technology, and with the plan for additional capital infusions towards a NASDAQ uplisting and opportunistic acquisitions. We target these next steps over the next couple of quarters.
Well, I was going to ask about the NASDAQ. I guess you've applied to uplist, right? So what could that mean for the company in terms of, credibility and growth and all of that?
NASDAQ has been a goal of GreenBox for a couple of years now. Recent strategic alliances and business opportunities made uplisting possible in a very short time frame for us. Um, Shareholder value is a top objective of all executives of public companies. Nasdaq securities capture bigger investors, both retail and institutional, and afford the listed companies improved multiples, coupled with stability and liquidity.
So earlier this year, you launched a second generation technology. Can you explain that platform and how it fits into the business model?
Yes. As you stated, the Generation 2 was released earlier this year in about April. It added a few strong new features to our ecosystem, including crypto and Forex handling. This enabled the globalization for GreenBox with the currently Europe focused. And we, as a result, onboarded very sizable clients with transactional volumes in Europe doubling every month since we launched it. This Generation 2 also allowed integration with the newly acquired licensed money service business company in Canada. Generation 3, planned for release towards the end of the year or beginning next year, offers yet additional new capabilities. And I'm very excited to discuss those. These new capabilities add the stablecoin ecosystem, automated blockchain provenance for regulated onboarding, banking infrastructure, payment facility management, and increased capacity and speed. And I should say that we are already boarding new verticals for Generation 3, and we already have significant volume commitments for that release. So we're very much looking forward to that Generation 3.
Okay, and you've got the uplisting, you've got the next generation. Is there anything else that, I mean, not that that's not enough, but anything else you're looking forward to next year? I mean, I think maybe we'll be out of this crazy pandemic and we'll start to see if people have gotten used to fintech and using that to make payments and so forth.
Yes, we're very much looking forward to the near and the midterm and even long term of the GreenBox. I guess our first objective moving forward is execution. On the technology side, I discussed the Generation 3, and that's to be launched, as I said, by the end of the year or beginning next. For uplisting, we are looking to be a Nasdaq listed company by the next quarter of next year. We are now finishing compliance for that purpose. And a scoop for you on your show, we have reserved a new ticker for the company, and it will be GBOX.
Oh.
GBOX. Also, we will continue strategic capital raises towards the positioning for equity and growth and acquisitions, but we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it. It sounds like you've got a very kind of concrete plan going forward. So thank you so much, Ben, for joining us. It's great to hear about GreenBox, and best of luck.